So finding that seat that's comfortable for you, any way you like. Grow your spine down nice and tall. Roll shoulder blades down and back. And then breathe your natural breath. Allow any thoughts or previous happenings of the day to just release. And a few more breaths, just your natural breathing to tune in. And now you'll breathe in a little bit deeper, fill all the way up. Deep core breathing, pelvic floor opens up, muscles are working. Exhale, up and in, press all the air out of your lungs. Good, and continue that breathing style now. Inhale to open up, and exhale to press all the air out. And inhale, exhale. A few more times on your own, your cadence. Two more breaths. And then you'll return to your natural breathing for just a moment. And next you'll engage your Ujjayi breath. So you should hear the inhales and the exhales quite audibly. You will place your tongue to the roof of your mouth and slightly close the back of your throat. And then you'll inhale and exhale, keeping your tongue and throat in place. Sounds like the ocean waves. Breathing in and out through your nose. And if at any point during today's practice your mind starts to wander, you can bring your mind softly back to this breath. The audible inhales and exhales. Two more breaths. Now you're going to drop your chin down to your chest, and you'll rotate your chin left to right, slowly and easily, just drawing a small smile on your chest with your chin. And then your smile gets larger and larger until your chin passes up by your shoulders. And two more times in either direction. And then back to center. And now you'll take some full neck circles all the way around. And pause in any areas of tension. Allow yourself to really stretch using the weight of your head. And you'll go two more circles this way and then reverse the circle. And go the opposite way. Remembering to pause as needed. And 2 more circles in this direction. And then you'll find center. Good. Now you'll gently tilt your chin and open your eyes. Bring your hands to the mat in tabletop position. Roll under into a tabletop. And you'll go for some cows and cats. So toenails are on the mat. You inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Allowing the movement to begin in your tailbone as you slowly uncurl the spine from bottom to top, and then recurl in again from bottom to top. And 2 more. And final cat, and then you'll find a neutral spine. Now your neutral spine, really firm in, feel your core muscles working, tighten your tummy. Now you're going to extend your right leg long behind you and then your left arm out ahead of you. Nice long line of energy from fingertip to toe tip, working every muscle in between. And bring it back to tabletop now. Firm into your core again, really light those muscles up. Then lift your left leg and your right arm. Really feeling your calf and quad and bicep all fired up and working hard. Then tabletop position. Good. And now you're gonna bring right leg back once again. Left arm out ahead of you. And then this time, elbow to knee 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Elongate and then back to table. Good. And left leg long behind you. Right arm out ahead. And elbow to knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Elongate, back to table. Nice. Now you're going to stretch your right leg long behind you. Final set. And then you're going to rise up onto your right side fingertips. Really firm into your core as you do this. Good. Now see if you can play around with lifting your hand up off the mat. So really challenging. So even just staying on your fingertips is a balancing challenge. And then bring it back, tabletop. Good. And left leg long behind you, long and strong. Good. Now rise up onto your left side fingertips. And whatever you did on the other side, either stay here on the tips of your fingers, or if you can, play a little bit with lifting your arm. And then back to a tabletop position. Curl your toes underneath and lift your hips into downward facing dog. And pedal your dog. Bend and straighten your knees. Good. Then find some stillness in your dog. And now you're going to bend your knees low. Feel the stretch in your Achilles. And straighten your knees now. Good. Then we're going to get the sides of your legs. So you'll point your toes to the left. And then bend your knees. Side body stretch. And straighten your knees. Back to center. And then rotate to the right. And bend your knees. Just a nice little side body stretch. Then back to center in your downward dog and walk your feet up to the middle for a forward fold. Then in your forward fold, you'll grab for opposite elbows and sway. Feel the release in your hips. And now you'll come back to center. And inhale, rise to mountain. Arms overhead. Good. And then tick-tock your body. About 10 times. We're going side to side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then back to center. Good. Then hands go to your lower back for a supported back bend. So hands go in onto your back like they're going into jean pockets. You're going to inhale to lift your chest and exhale, slight back bend. And then inhale up to mountain. Good. And you're going to bring your arms up over your head. Now this time, interlace your fingers except the index finger. The index finger points straight up. You're going to inhale, reach up. And then exhale, lean over to one side. Just one side this time and hold. See if you can find a little length in your spine on your inhale. And then exhale to lean over a little bit more. Good. Now inhale, center. Reach up and exhale, opposite side. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. And then back up to center. Hands to the lower spine. For one more supported back bend. Hands into the imaginary jean pockets. Lift your chest. And then lean back. Nice supported back bend. Now if you're well versed in back bends, you can take your hands to the creases of your knees. Otherwise, just keep your hands where they are. And now slowly walk yourself back up to mountain. Good. And you'll inhale, arms overhead. Now exhale, arms can stay here or go heart center for chair. Up to you. So hands can be here at heart center. Making sure knees are not crossing over your toes. If you'd like just a little bit of a challenge, you can bring arms straight out ahead of you or way up to the ceiling. Good. Now on your exhale, slowly stand. Good. And take a nice deep breath. And now we're going to do a chair on your toes. So take your feet about hip distance apart. And you're going to rise up onto the balls of your feet. Bring your hands out ahead of you, right at shoulder height. And again, if that gets uncomfortable for your arms at any point, you can always bring them to heart center. Now you're going to bend your knees and imagine yourself lowering down an imaginary wall behind you. And this time our knees are going to, of course, cross our toes. Get as low as you can. And then see if you can lift your right heel higher now. And maybe your left. Maybe not. That's okay too. And now slowly rise. Heels down and arms down. Good. Take a breath. And another breath. Good. Now you take your right foot forward for a warrior one. So your back foot's about a 45-degree angle, front foot straight, hips are forward, and arms are straight up. Core is nice and tight. And a deep lunge. Using that audible breath we started out with, Ujjayi breathing. 2 more breaths here. And now you're going to open up to warrior 2. So you pivot your back foot parallel to the mat, both arms out. Nice firm core. So we want our whole spine and back to be in line rather than kind of popped out on the front and back. Bring it all in with your core muscles there. All in one line. And breathe. Now reverse warrior, so you're going to flip your front palm and reach back. And just breathe that Ujjayi breath. And warrior two. Now side angle pose, your right forearm to your right thigh and left arm up and over to frame your ear. Breathe here. Warrior two. And now you're going to straighten your front knee and you're going to point both toes in the same direction. Good. Now hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. And then you're going to bow forward, forward fold, wide legs. And allow your hands to come away from your body. A nice shoulder rinse here. Breathing into it, the weight is in the balls of your feet. Your knees have a slight micro bend. If this is uncomfortable for your arms, you can always bring them to your hips. Two more breaths. And now bring your hands back to your low hips and slowly rise. Good. Now toe heel your feet together to mountain pose. You can release your arms at any time. Good. Take a breath in mountain. Maybe breathe with your arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale out. Inhale. And exhale. And then arms stay down by your sides. Stand firm in your mountain pose. Firm your feet into the mat. Tighten your quads and your calves. Tighten your hips and your glute muscles, your abdomen. Roll shoulder blades down and back. Stand proud and tall in your mountain and just feel that pose. Nice and firm and steady. And a nice deep breath here. Nice. Now when you're ready, you're going to step your left foot forward for a warrior one. Left side. Arms up. Hips forward. Low lunge. And a nice tight core. Really breathing in, sinking in. Two more breaths. Breathe in. And now on your exhale, you're going to pivot your back foot to the parallel with the edge of the mat and open up warrior two. Good. Now make sure that core is nice and tucked, nice and tight. Everybody's got to do a little sinking in when we first get into a pose. And now reverse warrior, so flip your left palm to the ceiling and reach back. One more breath. And warrior two. Then side angle pose, your left forearm to your left thigh, right arm up and over. And then back to warrior two. Now you'll pivot your front foot so both toes are going the same direction. And then hands behind your back, another shoulder rinse, interlace your fingers. We'll do a wide leg forward fold, hinge at your hips, fold forward. And if it's comfortable, hands come away from your back. And breathe. Nice inversion here. Really get the synovial fluid in our spines, moving around. Give us a new perspective. Bring breath to maybe some slightly different areas. 2 more breaths here. And now your hands go to your lower spine and you're going to slowly rise. Toe heel your feet together. Release your arms at any time. Good, mountain pose. Let's take 3 breaths with your arms again. So you breathe in, arms up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Then inhale up. And exhale down. Good. Now bring your right foot forward for high crescent lunge. So you're on the ball of your back foot. Both feet are facing forward. Hips are forward. Good. And stay here. Breathe into this pose. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into the lunge. One more breath. Now lower your back knee down, toenails rest on the mat. And hands are going to come to frame your front foot or maybe on the thigh if the mat is not reachable. Good. And just feel that stretch for a moment. Then you're going to bring both hands to the inside of your foot and see how that feels. If you feel like you can use a little bit more of a stretch, you could lower down onto forearms. If that's not comfortable, then just stay on your hands. Another thing you could do is bring a pillow, a blanket, or a block, but really giving our hip flexors a chance to get nice and stretched out. So now you're going to curl back toes under. Take a nice deep breath in. Lift your back knee up, and then your hands are going to come to the top of your thigh. Good. Now slowly you're going to walk your back foot in to bring you into a warrior 1. Good. And arms are up. Again, just finding that time to really sink in. Sometimes if we come from it a different pose, and it might take us a little longer. Now you're going to take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Inhale to lengthen spine. And exhale, humble warrior, hinge at your hips. A comfortable hinge for you, aiming for parallel with the knee, but it takes time to get there. And 2 more breaths. And then hands to your lower spine and slowly stand. Good. Now you're going to pivot your back foot to warrior 2. Open your arms up. Nice tight inline core. And then you'll straighten your front knee and tip for triangle. So reach forward and cartwheel your arms. You look up at your top arm. Two more breaths. And then warrior 2. toes so that they're slightly inward, but we want both toes to be pointing out, just not at such a drastic angle as the warrior one, warrior two. For temple pose or sun. So you're gonna bring your arms out like a cactus, or excuse me, goddess or temple pose, and then bend your knees. Squat nice and low. Again, we want our core nice and in line. Breathe here. One more breath. And then straighten your knees. And toe heel your feet together. And take a breath in mountain pose. Very nice. Now you're going to lead your left leg forward for a high crescent lunge. Again, finding time to sink in. One more breath and we'll lower to a low crescent. So now lower your back knee down. And the toenails rest on the mat. Then hands can come to the thigh or the mat. And feel the stretch in the front of your hip flexor. Breathe into those muscles there. Good. Now you'll take your hands to the inside of your foot for a little deeper stretch, and whatever you did on the other side. So maybe you stayed right here, or maybe you were able to lower down onto forearms. Or if you couldn't quite make it there, maybe just try it. Sometimes it's a little different from side to side. Always good to try it out and see, and then just come right back out if it's not for you today. Breathing in, feeling the stretch. Now you tuck your toes underneath and you're going to lift your back knee and then both hands to the top of your thigh now. Good. Now bring your back foot in for that warrior one, 45-degree angle, both arms up. Both arms up. And just breathe in, sink in that pose. Again, if we come in from a slightly different manner, we might need a little more sinking in time. And then hands go behind your back, clasp. You're going to hinge at your hips, fold forward, humble warrior. Two more breaths. And then hands go to your lower back. You slowly stand. You're going to turn your front toes, again, just slightly to the side now, not such a sharp angle, and your back toes for goddess pose. So slightly outward, arms into a cactus shape. And then sink back. Sit in your squat and hold that pose. Breathe in. The audible Ujjayi breath still. One more breath. And then you slowly straighten your knees, release your arms. And you're going to toe heel your feet together to mountain pose. Now in your mountain pose, let's firm in again. So really firm in, feel your feet firmly pressed into the mat. Then you tighten up your core, tighten your knees, your hamstrings and your quads, your glutes and your abs. Roll shoulder blades down and back. Head, neck, and spine are all nice and tall. firming into your mountain pose, feeling your strength and stability. Really take a moment to feel that strength and stability as you stand in your mountain pose. And feet can be touching or hip distance, either way is fine. Final breath. Now you bring in a tree pose. So your tree, your right foot can go to ankle, shin, or thigh, just not your knee. And your foot presses firmly into your leg as your leg presses firmly into your foot. And when you're ready, hands at heart center. You can choose to make this a little more challenging by closing your eyes, if you like, keeping hands here. Or you can raise your arms, grow some branches. Maybe they want to sway in the wind a little. And just breathing, tapping in to the tree energy. Then hands to heart center. And place your foot back on the mat. Now your standing leg, your trunk leg, we're going to go ahead and open and close that a little bit. So you are going to stand firmly on your left, pick up your right and open it outward, open the gate and close the gate. Just really working in those hip joint muscles that we just used to stabilize. Good. 3 times and then back to center. And now you'll do the opposite side. So you firm into your right foot, nice and stable. And your left foot can go to ankle, shin, or thigh again. Pressing firmly into your foot as your foot presses firmly into your thigh. And then hands to heart center. Again, you can close your eyes for a challenge. That one is one I'm working on. Or you can raise your arms and sway in the wind. Really feeling your stability, your strength, your connection to nature. And then hands go back to heart center and release. Then you'll open and close the gate on this side. So open and close, open and close. One more time, open and close. Good. Then you give your legs a little shake, a little wiggle. And take a nice deep breath. Good. A little more balancing. So you're going to firm into your left foot. And if you have a wall or something close by you want to use, always feel free to use that if you need to. Then you're going to bring your right knee up to hip height. And just stay there for a moment if you can, maybe hands, palms face out. Then your left hand's going to go out as a counterbalance, and your right hand goes to your knee. See if you can open your leg. 2 breaths. And then go back to center, both arms reach up. See if you can kick into your leg. And then set your leg down, arms down. Give your legs a little shake and take a breath. And another breath. And we'll do the opposite side. So firm into your right foot. Nice and planted. And you'll lift your left knee to hip height. And breathe. Breathe, palms face out again. And this time your right arm goes out as a counterbalance and your left arm, hand to knee. Then you're going to open up and hold for 2 breaths. And then back to center, both arms up and kick into your leg. And set that foot down now. Arms down. Give your legs a little shake. And take a nice deep breath. One more breath. Now your hands are going to come to heart center. You're going to take one large step forward with your right foot. And then you hinge at your hips and lift your back leg for standing stick. Now, if you are one that really enjoys Warrior 3, feel free to turn this into a Warrior 3 by bringing your hands up. Otherwise, we'll just stay at the standing stick. And then you'll inhale, left knee to hip. And exhale, standing stick or Warrior 3, your choice. Inhale, knee to hip. And exhale, standing stick, Warrior 3. And inhale, knee to hip. And final time, exhale, Warrior 3. Or standing stick. Now hands go to the mat for standing split. And just hold here. Leg doesn't have to be too high, but it should be a comfortable challenge for you though. Nice deep breath in. And then on your exhale, send your left foot to meet your right. And forward fold. You're going to bend and straighten both knees. Just give them a little walk out in your forward fold. Then back to forward fold. And inhale, rise to mountain. Arms overhead. And exhale, mountain pose. Good. Now hands to heart center. You're going to inhale, take your left knee to hip height, or take one large step forward, with your left foot. And tip for a standing stick. Then inhale, knee to hip. And exhale, standing stick. Now inhale, knee to hip. Exhale, standing stick. One more time. Inhale, knee to hip. Exhale, standing stick. Then hands release to the mat for standing splits. That comfortable challenge for you. Breathe in. Now send your right foot to your left. Forward fold. And walk it out a little bit in your forward fold. And back to center. Then you'll inhale, halfway lift. Feel the stretch from tailbone to crown of head. Really firming in. Hands can be on the mat or on your shins. Exhale, fold. Now inhale, rise to mountain. Arms up. And exhale, fold. Now inhale, halfway lift. You're going to plant your hands on the mat, walk your feet back to a plank. And now you'll lower yourself all the way down to the mat. All the way down. And your right cheek's going to rest on the mat. Your palms go by your side, face up. And just rest, allowing yourself to let go of all the hard work you've done so far. Two more breaths here. Now you'll take your chin to the center of the mat, and your hands are going to come to the lowest point of your rib cage for a modified locust. So on your next exhale, you're going to lift arms, chest, and legs. So your hands are kind of nearby you. In case you need fingertips to rest on the mat, just try not to put too much weight into your hands. So you're going to take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, lift chest and legs. See if you can lift and float your hands. Or maybe just fingertips on the mat. Breathe in. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Left cheek rests, palms face up. Couple more breaths. Final breath. Now you're going to bring chin to the center of the mat. Zip your legs nice and tight together. And you can bring hands to the lowest point of your rib cage again and do that same pose, or option to bring your arms out like airplane wings. Either way is fine. So nice big inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to lift again, legs, arms, and chest. So nice big inhale, then exhale, lift. Breathe in and out. See if you can lift just one more rib off the mat than you did last time. And then exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Right cheek rests, palms face up. Two more breaths. And now we'll do one final set of locusts. So chin to the center, zip your legs out. Arms in either by your sides or in airplane wings. Nice big inhale and exhale, lift. And once again, see if you can lift just one more rib than you did last time. Slowly lower all the way down. Left cheek rests. Palms face up. Breathe into lower back. Two more breaths. Now you're going to place your hands on the mat and send your hips back into a child's pose. Hands are pressed firmly into the mat. Forehead reaches for the mat. And hips towards the heels. Breathe in and out. Feel your lower back expanding. Feel yourself sending your breath there. And filling all the way up. And then emptying all the way out. Two more breaths here. Now you're going to walk your hands back up until you're in a high kneeling position. So you're going to come up high on your knees. Good. And we're going to go for a camel pose. So you can bring your hands back into the jean pockets again, like we started with our back bends. Or you can have fists if you prefer fists in your hand, in your back, either way. But what you're going to do is inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, slight back bend. Then hold. Breathe. One more breath. And then slowly return back to high kneeling position and child's pose. Arms ahead of you, press firmly into the mat. Breathe into your lower back. Two more breaths. walk yourself back to a high kneeling position for a second set of camel. This time, option to do the same with hands supporting, or once you get there, you can bring your hands back behind and reach for your heels. You could always bring your heels a little closer by curling your toes under as well. So all three are camel pose, just different variations. Final breath. And then hands to your hips wherever you are and slowly rise. Now this time you're going to sit back on your heels. Now I want you to grab your heels with your fingers on the inside and your thumbs on the outsides of your heels. And then see if you can reach the crown of your head towards the mat. And breathe here into your low back. 2 breaths first. And then see if you can lift your hips a little bit. Rabbit pose. Now it takes time, but ideally one day your head is meeting your knees. But this is a counter pose to camel, and it feels so good on the back of your neck and your lower spine. If it's not feeling good, then go ahead and just bring yourself to a child's pose for 3 more breaths. Final breath. Now send your hips back to your heels. And then you're going to bring yourself to seated with legs out ahead of you. Good. Give your legs a little shake. Just loosen up a little bit. And then firm into your seat. Good. You're going to cross your right foot over your left now. And then your left hand goes back behind you like a kickstand and your right arm up. So right foot crossed over and right arm up. Then inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist and right elbow to the inside of your right knee. Make sure the twist is coming from your core, not your low spine. And you inhale to lengthen. Exhale, if you can, twist a little bit more. One more breath here. And then back to center. We're going to counter that pose so your legs stay as they are. Right hand goes behind you as the kickstand. Now left arm up. Inhale, reach up. And then bring your left elbow to the outside of your left knee and twist. Remembering to twist from the core. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist deeper. One more breath. Now you'll come back to center. Take both legs long ahead of you. And you're going to inhale both arms up. And exhale, fold forward, reach for shins, ankles, or feet, whatever's available. And you can always bend your knees if you need to bend your knees too. It's really a nice stretch for the hamstring and the low back. Then you're going to come back up to seated. And you'll take both legs wide now, toes are flexed. Good. Firm into your seat, lengthen into your spine. And then from here, you're going to inhale and sit up nice and tall. And on your exhale, just slowly fold forward very gently. And inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Working your inner thighs and your lower back. Just very subtle movements. Again, challenging without causing pain. 2 more times. Last one. Now see if you can hold in your fold a little bit longer now. Feel the stretch in your inner thighs. And then come back up to seated. Now you're going to bring your right foot to your left thigh. And you'll take your left hand to the outside of your left ankle, shin or foot. And then your right arm goes up and over to frame your ear. So we're nice and open here. Our shoulders and chest are opened up. Not collapsing inward and keeping your seat firmly on the mat. Good, then inhale to center. And you're going to plant this hand on the mat here. And then lift your hips if that feels good. And bring your arm back. Kind of counter that stretch a little. And back to seated. Now both legs in a V. Hands in front of you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. It's really working in the inner legs today. Two more times. Then back up to center. Now you take your left foot to your right thigh. And your right hand goes to ankle, shin, or foot. And then your left arm up and over. Again, nice open chest, open shoulders. And breathing. Great way to lengthen your body. Two more breaths. Then inhale to center and your left hand plants, right hand behind you, and lift your hips. Counter that stretch a little. And bring it back down to seated. Good. Both legs ahead of you. And maybe give your legs a little bit of a shake. Good. And you'll firm into your seat once again. And cross your left foot over your right. Now right hand comes behind you as a kickstand, left arm up. So left arm, left knee, then your elbow goes to the inside of your knee and twist. Inhale to find length. Exhale to twist. Two more breaths. And then back to center. And both legs go out ahead of you. Inhale, arms go up. And then exhale, fold forward, final fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, fold. Two more breaths on your own. Now walk your hands back up to seated. Then you're going to scoot forward on your mat, plant your feet. Knees are bent. Good. You're going to bring your hands back behind your hamstrings for both. So, just right back here. Lengthen in your spine. And then lean back and just feel your abdomen muscles turn on. As soon as you feel those turn on, lift your feet. And if you can, see if you can lift your arms. And then slowly bring it back to seated, hands behind the legs, sit up nice and tall. Breathe in. One more breath. And hands behind your thighs and lean back. Feel the abdomen turn on. Second set. Once it turns on, lift your feet. And if you can, allow your hands to float. 2 breaths. And now from your boat pose, slowly lower your body all the way down to the mat. Trembling and shaking is normal. Lower all the way down and take a breath, lying on your back. Then reconnect to that breath at the beginning of class, Ujjayi breathing, audible breaths in and out. Two more breaths in this pose. And then you're going to plant your feet on the mat, and you're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And now you're going to reach in between your legs and reach for either your hamstring or your shin, whatever is available to you. And then you're going to press or pull your left knee towards your chest as you energetically press your right knee away. And both shoulders stay in contact with the mat, tailbone stays in contact, breathing. Two more breaths. Feel the stretch on the side, back of your thigh. Now you're going to lower your feet down. And opposite side, cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Then reach in between your legs for hamstring or shin, whatever's available, and pull your right knee in towards your body. At the same time, you're energetically pressing your left knee away from you. Feel the stretch of the back of the leg. Two more breaths. Now you plant your right foot down, your left foot down. Go ahead and lift and lower your hips one time to get recentered on your mat. And then you're going to bring yourself to happy baby pose. So your legs are bent, feet towards the ceiling, and grab the inner edges or the outer edges of your feet, whichever you prefer. Again, tailbone and shoulders stay in contact with the mat. Pressing your feet up towards the ceiling at the same time you pull your feet towards the floor. And then rock back and forth if that feels good. Then you'll come back to center. Release your grip on your feet and legs shoot straight up, legs up the wall. Breathe and try to just relax in this pose. Two more breaths. now slowly lower your legs all the way down to the mat. Use your stomach muscles, your core muscles. Good. And now you're gonna plant your feet on the mat, arms into a cactus shape, and allow your knees to fall to the left. And if it feels good on your neck, you can gaze right. Supine twist. Allow yourself to relax. Two more breaths. Now your head and your knees both come back to center. And then your knees fall right, head falls left. Continuing with your Ujjayi breath. Audible oceanic breath. Two more breaths here. Now head and knees both come back to center. You're going to hug your knees in and rock side to side. And then grab the tops of your knees. Maybe take some knee circles. Just really small. And then go the opposite direction now with your knee circles. One more circle and then you go back to center. And then hug your knees in tight. Pick your head up. Squeeze every muscle in your body. Toes, feet, legs, arms, abs, chest, back. Everything squeezing. Face is furrowed. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale everything long and wide. Final Shavasana. Breathe in your Ujjayi breath to begin. Allow any thoughts to be washed away with your exhales, like waves of the ocean. And now imagine you're walking along a grassy field in a park nearby. It's a beautiful summer day. Not too hot, not too cold. You decide to take your walk in the park barefoot. And as you walk in the grassy meadow, you feel the soft, cool grass on your feet. You feel the earth mold and move with each step. You feel strong. You breathe in and you can smell that fresh, sweet grass. You smell the wood from the trees. And as you breathe in, you taste pine from the trees. You enjoy the smells and tastes around you. And the wind blows a warm, comforting blanket of wind across your body. And as you look around the park, you see birds fluttering in the trees. You see the bushes rustling with squirrels and rabbits. And as you're walking in this plush, lovely grass, you come to a serene lake with a bench nearby to gaze at the lake. You find yourself seated on this lake and notice there's a big, beautiful cherry blossom tree across the lake, giving you a reflection. You see the cherry blossom flowers, the pinks and the whites, and as they ripple on the water's reflection, you appreciate their beauty. And as you're sitting on this bench, watching the cherry blossom, you begin to close your eyes and feel the warm sun on your skin. The sun is sending you great energy, positive vibrations. And you drink this glow, and you drink these things in with the sun shining upon you for a while now. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes now. Then rock your head from side to side. And when you're ready, roll onto one side. And take a moment to appreciate everything your body's just done for you. Now when you're ready, prop yourself up to a seated position with eyes closed as able. And you're going to inhale, arms overhead, palms meet. Now reverse your palms face out and exhale, arms down. With intention, press the air around you away. Bring in positivity, light, and love into your space. And then your hands come to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to be your guide today. I honor, appreciate, and respect the light inside of you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.